Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. On August 28, 1749, he was born in Frankfurt, located in Hesse, to a wealthy citizen family. His father, Johann Caspar Goethe, was a member of the Imperial Parliament. When he was a child, his father was stern and serious. Goethe's mother was gentle and kind, and focused on cultivating his interest in learning. Particular attention is paid to the cultivation of understanding and appreciation of Goethe's literature. Mother often put little Goethe on her lap, tell him various interesting stories in fresh and rich language. Perhaps Goethe's literary talent was inherited from his mother. Guide his interest in learning and strive to cultivate Goethe's ability to have a correct understanding of literature. Goethe died of illness on Thursday, March 22, 1832 at 11:30. His last words were, "Give me more lights." This reflects his optimistic spirit as a great writer. He was buried in the Prince's Cemetery on March 26th. He is one of Germany's most outstanding writers and thinkers, known as the giant of German culture and the symbol of European culture. Goethe's main masterpiece, Faust, is a poetic drama with a length of 12,111 lines. The first draft began in 1768. The first part came out in 1808, and the second part came out in 1832. It took a total of 60 years to complete it. Within 4 weeks from early February to March 1774, Goethe completed the epistolary novel, The Sorrows of Young Werther, in one go. Goethe is considered one of the most intelligent people ever. His IQ is estimated to be between 210 and 225. Goethe not only made great achievements in literature, but also made important contributions in the field of chemistry. He pioneered the branch of anthropology within the field of chemistry and proposed a theory of evolution that held that species would change as their environment changed. Let us relax our minds and appreciate the wisdom Goethe left us. Malice does not ask for reasons. It only looks for excuses. Crushing an innocent opponent is an act of a tyrant trying to vent his anger when he is cornered. In this restless age, those who can hide in the depths of quiet passion are indeed happy. If you think more about how to deal with the real situation calmly, then people's suffering will be much less. People with little discernment but good character can often see through the tricks of the most cunning liar. Most people spend most of their time working to earn a living, and the little spare time they have left makes them feel bored and have to rack their brains to find ways to kill it. That's the fate of human beings. Any mature heart wants to die. Small things are fleeting, but the vicissitudes of life last forever. I can guarantee integrity, but I cannot guarantee freedom from bias. What we do not know is just what we need. What we do know is useless. True, like-minded people cannot quarrel for long. They will always make peace again. Anyone who continues to strive for self-improvement will be saved by us in the end. Alas, what I know is known to everyone, but my heart is mine only. Anyone who tries to realize the hopes and aspirations of youth in middle age is deceiving himself. Each decade of a person's life has its own fortunes, hopes, and desires. People who take an interest in themselves interest us. No matter big or small, as long as you think it can be done well, you will do it firmly. This is your character. Feelings don't lie, judgments do. People who don't love me have no right to judge me. Some people don't make mistakes because they never do anything worth doing, and mistakes are what make people truly lovable. Responsibility is a kind of love for the things you are required to do. Because everyone who doesn't know how to control their heart always likes to control the will of others, according to their own arrogance. As long as we make good use of our time, we will never have to worry about running out of time. Love, your words are my food and your breath is my wine. The important thing is to learn to harness your own abilities. By increasing your knowledge as an adult, you can achieve higher goals in the future. Gardeners also know that as long as a small tree turns green, there will be flowers and fruits to adorn it for years to come. There is no kind of politeness that can make people see the lack of upbringing at a glance. The correct education lies in making the appearance of politeness and the person's noble upbringing show at the same time. We must always say the truth repeatedly, because errors are also repeatedly propagated, not by individual people, but by large numbers of people. Don't wait for tomorrow to do what you do today, and don't wait for others to do what you do. Friendship can only be created and maintained in practice. To appreciate your own worth, you have to add value to the world. The most fundamental research object of human beings is human beings. Human beings are all made from the same mold. Most people have to be busy in order to make a living, spending most of their time. The little spare time they have left makes them worry, and they have to find ways to kill it. This is the fate of mankind. Career is the most important thing. Reputation is empty words. Whoever plays with life will accomplish nothing. Whoever cannot control himself will always be a slave. No one is more likely to be a slave than a man who has lost his freedom and thinks he is free. For certain talents, they must be allowed to have their own strengths. Isn't the purpose of life to transform temporary things into permanent ones? To do this, you must know how to cherish the transient and the eternal. Great needs make people noble. Humble needs make people sink. Our worst vices begin with bad habits in childhood. Our chief education is in the hands of the wet nurse. 2 dry sticks can light a green branch. You need to be knowledgeable and talented. These 2 things are rare, and if you don't combine them together, it will be difficult to achieve good results. On matters of principle and property, we must be firm as a rock. Time is my property. My land is time. The most important thing in life is to have a big goal and achieve it with talent and persistence. Anyone with talent will always be oppressed by the outside world. Whether it's life or freedom, you have to win it every day. Only then can you be qualified to enjoy it. It is much easier to see error than to discover truth, for error lies in the open and can be overcome. Truth lies deep, and no one can discover it. There are 60 minutes in an hour, which makes a day more than 1,000 minutes. Once you understand this truth, you will know how much contribution a person can make. Anyone who strives for self-improvement will eventually succeed. A person cannot ride 2 horses at once. If he rides one, he has to give up the other. A wise person will ignore all distracting demands and concentrate on learning one thing, and learn it well. Experienced people read with 2 eyes. One eye sees the words on the page, and the other eye sees the back of the paper. As far as women's talents in other areas are concerned, I often find that once a woman gets married, her talents are over. What is the hardest job in the world? Thought. There is nothing worth thinking about that has not been thought about before. All we have to do is try to think about it again. Talents can be developed in solitude, but character is best formed in the rough waters of the world. People who make good use of time will always find plenty of time. Those who have never cried for a long night are not worthy of their life. What you do today, don't wait for tomorrow. What you do yourself, don't wait for others. If you want to do a great career, you must start it in your youth. Hope is the second soul of the unfortunate. Death is not a terror to the wise, nor is it the end for the good. No one is stupid, but if you don't use your brain, you will find that you are. The happiest people are those who can connect the end point and the starting point of their lives. There's nothing that should be highly cherished than the value of each day. Goals that have not yet been achieved are more valuable than small goals that have been achieved. When we are young, we tend to forget things due to our wide range of interests. When we are old, we become forgetful due to lack of interest. What you don't fully understand, you don't own. Those who forget today will be forgotten tomorrow. Talent is not something that is innate and can be left to chance. Instead, one must delve into art and seek advice from good teachers in order to become talented. There is something in everyone's nature that is not easy to disclose, and if it were made public, it would offend others. A bold insight is like moving a chess piece. It may be captured, but it is the starting point of victory. When people are working hard, they will definitely feel confused. Only when they are happy and confused can they know themselves. Listen to what he says and observe his eyes, and you won't see the wrong person. Only in sincerity can true knowledge be found. Beliefs are private capital stored in one's own home. The dignity of man does not yield to the authority of God. You must work hard to use the legacy you inherit from your ancestors so that you can enjoy it in peace. Although we can grow up relying on the protection of our parents and relatives, rely on brothers and friends, rely on the support of friends, and gain happiness from loving others. No matter what, in the final analysis, human beings still rely on themselves. If you want to achieve great things, you must do it while you are young. Unused things are a heavy burden. Only timely products can be used in time. Ambition and enthusiasm are the fuel for great achievements. Life lies in contradiction and movement. Once the contradiction is eliminated and movement stops, life will end. It would be of immeasurable benefit to a man who could discover his rival's strengths, for it would certainly make him superior to his rival. Theory is gray, but the tree of life is evergreen. Fame, power, and wealth, human beings cannot survive without them, but they bring as many errors as they bring truths. As long as people work hard, mistakes are inevitable. You should know that what people say is knowledgeable is nothing but exaggeration and superficiality.